Hello everybody. In this video, we will see details of waiting period which is associated with your health insurance policies. Before I proceed, hello everybody. This is Venkatesh. This is my Twitter handle. My YouTube channel name is Empowering with Financial Awareness, where I post contents on personal finance, health insurance, and stock investing. If you are interested in these topics, please do subscribe to my channel. If you're interested to know more about health insurance, you can read my ebook on health insurance. The link to the book is provided in the description section of this video. This ebook covers basic jargons, critical illness, and comparison of nearly 100 products from 20 plus health insurance companies. Please note that these are all not recommendations. It is only in comparison of the features. It is for you to pick the right product which is suitable to you. Thanks for choosing to watch this video. If you found this message useful, please do share this message to your friends, relatives and colleagues who also will be benefited. So now we'll first understand what is waiting period. Consider that you have taken a policy now. Waiting period is the time you have to wait from the date of issue of the policy before you can avail the benefits or you can claim for expenses of your hospitalization. The details of the waiting period is very clearly outlined in the policy wording document. So if you are going to buy, you can refer the policy wording document to see what are the different waiting periods. The waiting period is not a single or a discrete line item. There are different categories. So there are so many waiting periods which we will discuss. They are the initial waiting period, pre-existing diseases, specific diseases, maternity expenses, bariatric surgery, corona waiting period, and the annual health checkup. We will see all of this in detail further. The first one what we are going to see is the initial waiting period. Basically, this is the cooling period. Say if you have been issued a policy today and it is effective from today, you cannot go tomorrow itself, get admitted in the hospital and claim for expenses. So there is a certain period you have to wait before you can start claiming or avail the benefits. The industry standard is usually 30 days to 90 days, but by and large I came across only 30 days in most of the policies. However, there is an exception. If there is an accident and which needs immediate hospitalization, that is always an exception, even if it is within the initial waiting period. So you can see in the screen grab, this is from the policy wording document where they have mentioned the waiting period as 30 days. Similarly, you need to check in your policy document to understand the initial waiting period for your policy. Next is the waiting period for pre-existing diseases. But before that, let us understand what is a pre-existing disease. It is any condition or any disease for which you are diagnosed in the last 4 years from the issue of the policy, before you issued the policy. That is called as a pre-existing condition or pre-existing disease. Example of such disease could be diabetics, thyroid and so on. So how it applies to your policy is, if you are having these pre-existing diseases, you cannot claim hospitalization expenses for these disease for a particular period of time, and there is no standard duration because different policies and different plans have different durations, and mostly it is 3 to 4 years. We will now see a sample of the waiting period for pre-existing diseases in one of the policy wording document. In this particular case, it is 36 months. So what does this mean for a policy holder? So now you have taken the policy, you have paid the premium, and second year again you have to renew it. That is next year. And again, the beginning of the third year again you have to renew it. So after completion of full 3 years, and when you renew it for the fourth year, only from that time you can claim the benefits or any hospitalization expenses for the pre-existing diseases. Now let us see the waiting period for specific diseases. In case of pre-existing diseases, we saw the insurer had some disease and the insurance company had a waiting period for those diseases. In case of specific diseases, the insurance company already has a list of diseases or conditions and a time period for which or before which the insurance company is not going to encourage any claims or avail the benefits. Usually, the waiting period is 24 months, but still, this also will vary between the different policies and plans. To refer the policy document, if a special condition is if the pre-existing disease is same as the specific disease, the longer of the waiting period will apply. So let us see an example of a specific disease clause from the policy wording document. In the first part, they have mentioned that it is the waiting period is around 24 months, and you can see the last highlighted portion where they have told if between the pre-existing disease and specific disease, whichever the longer applies. And in the second part, they have given the list of diseases or conditions which are part of this specific diseases which you cannot claim during this 24-month waiting period. Next, we'll move on to the waiting period for maternity expenses. The maternity expenses covers the expenses related to childbirth, be it cesarean or a normal delivery, or a lawful medical termination of pregnancy, and such related expenses. And the insurance companies give a limit on the number of such deliveries you can claim these expenses. And lastly, the waiting period for such cases are pretty high. I have seen the minimum what I came across was 5 years. And again, there's a separate waiting period for the baby. A baby you cannot claim the expenses for medical expenses of baby for the first 9 months. So in the screen grab, what policy document you see, the waiting period is nearly 6 years, 72 months. So the next one is the waiting period for bariatric surgery. So let us now first understand what is bariatric surgery. It is related to the treatment of obesity, and as part of treatment, the hospital or the doctor does some surgery to remove the muscles or whatever from the stomach and intestines to cure the obesity. Very few policies offer this bariatric surgery option, and wherever they option, the minimum what I came across was 36 months, and again it will vary, and you need to check from the policy wording document. In this particular case, whatever I have shown in the screen, it is around 36 months. So the next one is the corona treatment, which is applicable to Corona Kavach policy. You have taken a policy today, and normally the waiting period is 30 days, before which you cannot claim the expenses. And finally, we have moved to the waiting period related to annual health checkup. This is just a policy feature where companies offer you free medical checkup after second time renewal or third time renewal and so on. So you need to wait for 2 years before you can avail this facility. These are my other videos on health insurance. You can refer my playlist on health insurance, where I have covered the importance of having a own health insurance cover, the importance of room rent limit, then strategic deposits for insurance, various health insurance documents, importance of brochure and policy wording document, and network hospitals. Thank you.